Hi friends, welcome to my channel Daily Tips. This channel helps you to take your daily financial decision using easy Excel functions. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe and tap the bell icon so that you won't miss the new videos. Today's function is IRR. IRR is nothing but the internal rate of return. So IRR will help us to figure out the best investment opportunity if we were confronted with more than one investment opportunity. IRR take two input values and the input values are values and guess. So first input value, that is values, is a required field and it means an array or a reference to cells that contain numbers for which you want to calculate the internal rate of return. So this is the cash flows values. So it is a series of values, numbers for which we want to calculate the internal rate of return. Values must contain at least one positive value and one negative value to calculate the internal rate of return. So this negative value means that the cash outflow and the positive values means that the cash inflows. IRR uses the order of values to interpret the order of cash flows. Be sure to enter your payment and income values in the sequence you want. So first will be your payment, that is a cash investment, and the next series of values will be the income values that you are going to receive from the project. If an array or reference arguments contains text, logical values or empty cells, those values are ignored. So these are the important points related to the first input value, that is values. The next one is guess and it is an optional input value. So it is a number that you guess is close to the result of IRR. So the Excel uses an iterative technique for calculating IRR, starting with guess. IRR cycles through the calculation until the result is accurate within 0.00001%. If IRR can't find a result that works after 20 tries, the hash num error value is returned. So in most cases, you do not need to provide guess for the IRR calculation. So it is completely an optional, not mandatory field. You need not to give at all. If guess is omitted, it is assumed to be zero point 0.1, that is 10%. If IRR gives the num error value or if the result is not close to what you expected, try again with a different value for guess. But friends, remember guess is absolutely an optional input value. You need not to mention it at all. So this NPV we have seen NPV function which help us to do the same, that is to do the cost benefit analysis with the values or the different project options which is available. So like NPV, IRR also is used as a cost benefit analysis tool by the financial world. These two are closely related. So IRR is closely related to NPV, the net present value function. The rate of return calculated by IRR is the interest rate corresponding to a zero net present value. So IRR is the rate at which the NPV is zero, that is the net present value of a project or investment option is equal to 0. Now let us understand the function IRR with an example scenario. We have 10,000 rupees with us to invest in any of the project option, and we have two project options or investment option. So first one, investment or project option 1 or investment or project option 2. So 10,000 rupees is with us to invest in any of these two project options. So we can see that 10,000 rupees denoted with a negative symbol, that means that it is a cash outflow. So we can see a series of cash inflows which is indicated with a positive sign. So the positive sign is implied, which is not required. So the series of cash inflow we can see from the project option 1. So at the end of the second year, we can see 3,000 rupees is the cash inflow. At the end of third year, 1,000 rupee. Fourth year, 2,000 rupees. Fifth year, 5,000 rupees. And from sixth year to 11th year, 1,000 rupee each year. And for the project option 2, we have the same 10,000 rupee to invest, and the cash inflows are at the end of second year 3,000 rupee, third year 3,000 rupees, and fourth year 9,000 rupees. Now let us check what is the cash, total cash, uh, total cash from each of these cash inflows from each of these project options. So we are using sum function. So sum, we are giving input value all the cash inflows. So we can see we have given all the cash inflows except the cash outflow. So close the bracket and press enter. Then we will get the total cash inflow of the project option 1. So it is rupees 17,000, 17,000. So we are investing 10,000 rupee and we are receiving 17,000 rupee from project option 1. Now we are dragging the equation to the same, to the second project option. So we can see what is the total cash inflow from the project option 2. So we can see 15,000 rupees is the cash inflow from the project option 2. We are investing 10,000 rupee and we are receiving 15,000 rupees from the project option 2. Clearly and evidently 2,000 rupees is more from project option 1. So we are receiving 2,000 rupees in excess of 15,000 rupees in project option 1. So we are confused between project option 1 and 2. Which one is the best option to invest our hard-earned money? So now we can check using the IRR function which one is the most feasible, viable or the profitable investment opportunity. So we are using IRR function and we are giving values. Values means here first value must be a negative value, then followed by all the positive values. So we are giving all the values. We are not giving any guess. So close the bracket and press enter. We will get the IRR. So we can see from the internal rate of return of first project option is 14%. So we are receiving 14% return from the first project option. Now we can check what is the internal rate of return of a project option 2. We are copying the equation to the following cell. So we can see 19% is the return from internal rate of return from the project option 2. So we can, it is clearly evident that 5% is return is more from project option 2. And if we are giving the, if we are checking this project option with the NPV, we can use NPV to check these project options. So we are giving a random value 10%. 10% means 0.1. We know that NPV take the first input value as a rate, so we are giving some random rate of 0.1 and all the values, subsequent values, 10,000 as a cash outflow, then all the subsequent cash inflows, and close the bracket and enter. Then we can see that the net present value, so the net present value of total cash outflows and inflow is 1,314 rupee. And if we copy the equation to the project option 2, then we can see that net cash, net present value of the cash flow, total cash flows is 1,789 rupees. So from this tool also, that is from this function also, NPV function also, we are getting that option 2 is the project option 2 is the best one. So instead of a 0.1, we are giving, if we are giving this value IRR function, IRR rate of return, then what will be the NPV value? We can check that we are changed the 0.1, that is the 10% value to 14%. That instead of 14%, I have given the cell number C6 and I am pressing enter. What will be the NPV? We can check. So you can see it is 0 rupees. So we have found out that IRR is the rate, that rate for which NPV will be 0. So if I drag the equation to the next cell, then we can see that if we are giving 19% as a project option 2 and we are calculating NPV for project option 2, then that will give a NPV value of 0. So this is all about the NPV and IRR. But if you want to go further, how we are computing the NPV value using IRR, you can follow further. So those who are interested and who want to know the mathematical equation of NPV, if n is the number of cash flows in the list of values, the formula for NPV is given as the NPV sum over j is equal to 1 to n values at the jth year divided by 1 plus rate the whole raised to jth year. So we are computing 1 by 1 plus rate the whole raised to j is the nothing but the discounting factor. So every year we must compute the discounting factor. So we are computing the discounting factor 1 divided by 1 plus the we are computing the NPV for at the IRR rate of return for the first only for the first project option. So we are taking the raised to the year, number of year is already given, so we have calculated the discounting factor for all the years. Now we need to find out the present value of the future cash flows. We just need to multiply the cash flows with the discounting factor. So we are multiplying the discounting factor. So we are computing. So now we can compute the sum value using the sum equation to check find out the net present value of all these net present value of future cash inflows and outflows. So 5e raised to 11, if we convert the format to number, we can see that it is 0. So net present value is 0. So it is nothing but the discounting factor. Discounting factor computation is very easy. 1 divided by 1 plus the net present IRR rate of return, the whole raised to the number of year, that is raised to D8. D8 is the cell value containing the number of year. And if we are copying the equation to the other cells, then we take the sum is nothing but the net present value. Net present value is 0 at IRR rate of return. Friends, I hope you like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Please share with your friends and family. I will be uploading more of such videos in future. Thank you for watching. Thank you friends. Bye.